everybody, we are back. We are just about to start the second semifinal, which is a best of three between TheMista and Brickhead. First map will be random as per the tournament rules. Looks like Mista will be playing Zeus, Brickhead will be playing Thor. I think those are the two gods that those guys are both best known for, and it looks like the map will be Savannah. So without further ado, we are into the game, and here we go.
Spawning in the top of the map, in blue color playing Zeus, is the one, the only TheMista. He was co-casting with me for some previous games. Unfortunately, we can't have him cast in this game because that would be really silly, but that's okay. His opponent today in the red color playing Thor is Brickhead. The map is Savannah, and this map's got a lot of hunt on it. It's got everything that you want for both players, really. The Thor player gets an open map so he can raid heaps, and the Zeus player gets a very high hunt-based map so he can use Athena aggression. Gold mine placement, however, is looking extremely poor for Brickhead. He's got a very exposed front gold mine. He does have a sentry tower on it, and he does have an ability to wall that off, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. If Mr. executes a crisp timing attack on that gold mine with restoration and hoplites and toxitos, there's not much which Brickhead can do to stop that attack apart from like a lot of buildings and towers. So we'll have to see if Mr. can execute that, or if Mr. chooses to go a different route. We'll have to see if Brickhead decides to play something different. I think if I was in Brickhead's shoes right now, I would say to myself, okay, my gold mine's a little bit exposed. I'm going to do a 4-minute 30 or pre-4-minute 30 advance time. I'm going to forest fire his backwood, and I'm going to start harassing his wood as much as I can in order to slow down any attack which happens. That's with a Valkyrie, and that's with any initial ult suck that I send over there. And then I just build up my wall of buildings and walls and get watchtowers, and then just defend against the impending restoration attack. That being also said, I can't yet see for the entire map, but the second gold mine currently, which Brickhead's seen, is also in a very precarious location, very difficult to defend against. So if Mr. chooses to do a later timing attack, maybe do a two-town center Athena play, and then like hit that second goal line at about the 10-minute, 30-minute mark, so 10-minute, 30-second mark, he'll be able to take the game like that. That being said, also Brickhead does have options in this game. He can rush, he can do stuff like that, and he can force Mr. to play his game and play at his pace and abuse mobility, which is what Thor has on this map. There's a lot of hunt, there's a lot of room for moving around, there's not many places you can wall off. Mr.'s map, on the other hand, is actually like really nice. He's got a lot of wood surrounding his base, so he can wall that off. He can use buildings in very nice positions in order to like look really well, like protect his base nicely. And looks like Mister's just going to be gathering from some hunt, going to be throwing up his temple at about, he's got a 3-minute mark, so he's not doing anything too crazy early as opposed to Brickhead, who's already got his temple up. He's got 1 second ox cart, so he'll need to throw up another ox cart at some point. He's going through Freya, hitting that 410 early classical age. He doesn't have 2 Ulfsark though, he's only got the 1, so he's going to have to send that first initial Ulfsark up to get that forest fire happening instantly, which isn't a bad thing, but that's okay. He's gonna be okay. I think this early pressure is gonna force Mr. into a position that he doesn't really want to be in. Mr.'s got his temple up, he's got like 5 villagers queued for some reason, he's stopping queuing them, he's getting his Jason out to deal with that early Valkyrie. It's assuming like Mr. just knows, he's so smart. He's like, okay, I know what he can do, so this is what I would do, so I'm going to counter that. I'm going to counter what the best thing possible to do is, which is really, really good. Anyways, so Jason's coming out, Valkyrie is going to be spawning soon, it's going to be up in about 5 seconds, he's going to move that forward. The Herso is coming in to pick off some of those early villagers, those forward villagers. And where did his Ulfsark go? He's just using that initial Ulfsark to build a longhouse. I think because Herso are slow and they build faster, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they build faster than Ulfsark It'd be better to send that Olsark forward and use that initial first Herso to build a barracks instead. Bolt was used on the Valkyrie, which is a really good use of it. But where's the Jason gone? I've lost the Jason.
It's down in
Whatever.
the bottom right part of the map.
Oh, okay, there it is. He's harassing the food line, which is really, really strong, especially because Brickhead's done a quick advance. But both players have been harassed off food so far, so it's a nice trade for Mr. Means that Brickhead's early advance is going to cost him more because, well, obviously, like, he's not had as much stuff. It's really Olsark's build faster than her, sir? I swear that's not right. Okay, I'll go along with it because you're Army Corps and you know what you're talking about, and I'm not. I don't know anything. Okay, let's start picking off Sentry Tower now. Military barracks from Mr. going up and the archery range, so he definitely wants to get that aggression happening. Athena was his god of choice. He's got the Minotaur out, and he's just going to be needing to defend a little bit first, and once he gets his army out, he's going to be able to make that push. I think the hoplites come out and the toxitoes come out and the walls now for Brickhead. So Brickhead's going to feel a little bit safe, but remember there's 3 gold mines which Brickhead can choose from, and if Mr. gets the choice of that gold mine correct and he makes that pressure at the 10-minute 30 mark when he has full population of army and he uses restoration, there's nothing that Brickhead can do to win that fight, so he's going to have to move to a different location. Unfortunately, that's just how restoration works. It's basically a guaranteed win of a fight, if it's even army. So you just don't fight it and you retreat and you come back. Anyways, Brickhead's got the 2 longhouses up. I think he should probably throw up a 3rd one just to get that production happening. I think perhaps a semi-fast heroic through Skadi would be the correct choice. It's going to force Mr. to do something a little bit. You can get people into out of position and force them to waste certain god powers and use Frost just to like bide time, get hill forts up and secure locations. Brickhead casting Forest Fire now onto this location here, which is going to allow him to move in and out quite safely to pick off the villages and the gold mine of Mr. Mister's got the 2 barracks up and 1 archery range. He's probably going to throw up a 2nd archery range as well in order to continue producing Toxitoes, which are really strong in this matchup because they deal so much damage, because all of Norse's army have very low pierce armor. Even their raiding cavalry have low pierce armor in comparison to other cavalry. A nice raid on the wood there by Mr. just with a couple of units, managing to pick them off, and then he's just going to leave. This is something that I've noticed a lot of players who are really high level do. They'll just pick off something and then they'll leave because their opponent knows they're there, so they're going to make a reaction. So there's no point in staying. You can't pick off anything else. If you pick off one thing and leave, you're doing so much more than picking off one thing, hanging around and losing units. Like, losing units is bad. You don't want to do that. So we see Brickhead running in here. He's going to be he's not going to really be able to do anything because Mister's way on top of it. He's got his army there to defend. He's probably going to be able to wall off this location here because the forest fire didn't really work how it's supposed to. Generally what happens is the entire wood line gets burned. However, it looks like Mister cut off that so that the forest fire didn't quite burn the entire line. But that's okay. Brickhead's still going to be able to put pressure on through this location. Throwing up his last armory, he's throwing up his 2nd archery range, getting some walls up in order to protect his gold mine. Again, Mister's just continuing to build units, and it looks like he's going to be sitting in a really nice position in order to deal with what Brickhead's got. Military-wise, Brickhead's a little bit in front of Mister, but that's generally what happens in this matchup. However, Brickhead's throwing away units at the moment, running them into the base of Mister. So Mister's actually managed to pick off a lot of those raiding cavalries as that Minotaur just couldn't decide what to do. I think now is the time that he can think about moving out. The gold mine was expired extremely early because Brickhead threw 14 dwarves onto gold instead of the standard 10. But it looks like Mr. doesn't quite know about that, but he does have a scout there on the gold. He just knows. He's so smart. He's got this catastrophe scout on that initial gold mine. He's going to be able to scout the watchtower going up and see the villages there. And he's just going to move straight there. You can see the reaction time. He thinks though that the dwarves are going over to this location, but he just notes that they're there, instantly moves them over. So smart. I don't know how one person can guess that well. Like it's so good. Uh, um, And unfortunately for Mister though, his army's moved out at the right time, but Brickhead's just like, no, I see you moving out. I'm gonna trade you moving out for killing all of your gold villagers here. He is losing a couple. He actually didn't lose. He lost one raiding cavalry. He could get out through that wall segment there, and Brickhead's just like, okay, I traded those villagers for my dwarves moving out and a watchtower. So that's really good for Brickhead. And a couple of watchtowers going up right there on the side of the map. Raiding cavalry's getting picked off as well. But it looks like Brickhead's just putting on the pain to Mr. Mister's not really controlling the raids too well. He does have his map walled up, but Brickhead's sort of got free reign to leave and stuff because he's got this location here. You can see that it's not quite walled off. And he needs to fix that up. Fortunately, he's not going to be able to. And it looks like Mister's moving around to this location now because he knows that Brickhead's left here. He can come over to here, see there's no gold mine, and move over to here. But looks like Brickhead's going to get up the walls in time to prevent this attack from happening. And at this point, if Mister gets that raiding cavalry upgrade, the medium raiding cavalries, I think that his population is enough to do anything like that. Oh. He's actually going to be throwing up 3 watchtowers to defend against this, but I don't even... if he doesn't retreat his raiding cavalries, I don't think that's going to really be enough with restoration and siege hoplites. I call them siege hoplites because they're just hoplites, and about 5 of them is equal to a siege tower. Like, it's so strong. And you can see that they're picking off that wall segment extremely quickly. Choosing not to quite finish it off for some reason, I don't know why. He doesn't want to kill it. And we see raiding cavalry now coming into the fray from behind. But looks like Mister's able to pick off a bunch of those Hersa. Taking a little bit of pain though onto that Minotaur. If he uses restoration now, that Minotaur's going to be back to full HP. He's going to be quite strong. And this fight can definitely go in the favour of Mister if he does choose to restore him. He's sending in a bunch more units as well. And then there's the restoration, getting his army back to full population. Really nice marker there. The rest of Mister's army is coming into this location now. He's going to force the rain cavalry to retreat. He's also going to force the gold mine off there. He's got that side gold mine scouted with his Toxito, and he's got everything scouted, and he has taken this game with a really strong timing attack, knowing exactly what to do. It's weird, and I saw Amicola talking about it in chat while this game was going on. It seems like Brickhead chose the wrong gold mine to go to first. However, he had the scout there to see it, like scout. So Mister knew, like he knew that it was potential that gold mine could be taken, but he used the scout and he took that thing. You saw he was moving to this location on the right-hand side of the map for the gold mines first. That he saw that the dwarves moved over there. He was coming at the 10-minute mark when the gold mines should have moved out, but it was really... He really made the best choices in this game. Unfortunately for Brickhead, his raids didn't set Mister back enough, and he couldn't surround Mister's army, and Mister just placed his army really nicely and managed to win the game. And I'll move it back to you, Suda, to move on to the second game.
So that was game number 1 between Brickhead and TheMista. Game number 2 will be Brickhead's choice of map. We're just loading the players into the game right now. So it's his choice of map. Unless he chooses random, but I would assume not. And Yeah, Mista up 1-0 currently, best of 3. Winner of this game will play Ghost Lake in a best of 5 for the first place in the tournament. Brickhead just deciding now which map he will take. Loser picks map.
There's a couple of maps which are really, really strong for Thor vs Zeus, such as I think Midgard is an okay map for Thor vs Zeus. I think Watering Hole's also okay. There's no maps which are really stand out to be incredibly powerful. Like Zeus is such a strong god that Thor just has very little that he can do against him.
Do you think Brickhead is set on playing Thor, or do you think there's a possibility that he would play something else?
If I was Brickhead and I knew what Mista can do, Mista plays two gods to a very, very strong level. He plays Zeus and Set, and Thor isn't particularly good against either of those gods. The only reason he plays Thor is because it's his strongest god. I feel like if he could play a different god really well, he should do it. I don't think Thor's a good choice against Zeus. What are the map choices that people can pick? Can he pick like Nomad?
He can pick any map in the random map pool.
Okay, that's good because Nomad's a stupid map. I'm surprised we haven't. Oh, we saw one Egyptian. I was gonna say I'm surprised we haven't seen any Egyptian in this tournament because whenever I see a tournament, it's like Egyptian or Egyptian. Obviously,
I guess it helps when you have a bunch of Zeus players as your tournament participants.
Yeah, the meta is sort of shifted. There was a point where Isis was the go-to, and there's been a point where Uranus has been the go-to, and now it's people have figured out that Zeus is so strong, and Zeus was the go-to. But now again, it keeps changing. That set is actually, when played correctly, one of the strongest gods. It's really interesting how the game just shifts even after all these years, and so many people just exploring different aspects.
Also, if people are wondering how the whole map choice and god choice thing lines up, the map is chosen first, and then the players have the option of changing their gods based on the map. And if the players disagree on the gods after the map has been chosen, they have to default to the god that they chose before the tournament began, if there's any dispute. So Brickhead's god of dispute is Thor, Mista's god of dispute is Zeus, and so after the map has been chosen, if they can't agree on which matchup to play, then the tourney admin, who's myself, can force them to play their gods of dispute. But looks like Mista is ready. Map is chosen first, then god.
Jumping into game number 2 between TheMista and Brickhead. Spawning in the left hand of the map in the blue color playing Thor is Brickhead, and the right hand of the map in the red color playing Zeus is TheMista. The series currently is now 1-0 in Mista's favor. Mista managed to play a flawless game as Zeus against Brickhead's Thor on Savannah, managing to kick Brickhead off gold and gold star him and take the win. This map is now Alfheim, and the issue with Alfheim as opposed to what Savannah is that the map is so closed by cliffs, so you can You can wall off and all that other stuff like that. It's like really, really, really good against raids. You can easily stop them, which means Hermes isn't really an option for Mister, and Brickhead doesn't really have the option of playing Freya in a way that's focused on raiding. However, that being said, um, Brickhead has the option of turtling, which he doesn't have on many other maps, because Zeus can normally just tunnel through that and kill everything. And yeah, that's that. That's my analysis. See that Mister's got 2 villages on wood at the moment. Is he continuing to put villages on wood? Yes, he is continuing to put villages on wood, so he's not going for a very fast uptime. Maybe 4:30, maybe 5:15, somewhere in that area. Brickhead, on the other hand, he's got 6 villages already on food, so he's going to be going for a very fast advance time, attempting to put some early aggression onto Mister. Remember, Brickhead does have forest fire, so this front position between Mister's base and Brickhead's base can be forest fire to stop that wall being there, but that being said, he's only got an option to move through the line of fire between the tower and the gold mine, and Mister can easily wall that off or use building placement to make that difficult to raid. Mister's just scouting out now, seeing what he can do to Brickhead. Brickhead's gold mine's really, really nice. However, his wood line is a little bit out of position. I feel like, well, it's not out of position, it's just poorly placed for defense. He does have a back wood line as well, so he can gather from that. It's just his forward one, which is the closest one, is a little bit precarious, and Mister can take advantage of that if Brickhead chose to do that. Brickhead throwing up that ox cart. He's got a little bit of idle town center time. Don't know if he means to do that, and he's trying to get to the classical age as soon as that temple's done, which is possible. No, he's not. He's throwing out the door, so he did just have a little bit of idle town center time. Brickhead now throwing up his wooden walls all across the map, being the pain that is Norse on this map. You can literally wall the map up before the classical age and force Mister to spend like ages killing walls. Just if you it just makes aggression so difficult. Yeah, so Brickhead's just doing that standard stuff, and it looks like Mister's going to try and find him, but not managed to do so. And where's the Ulf Sark of Brickhead? He's actually produced 2 Ulf Sark going through 4 SETI, so there we go. He's not doing that Freya raiding. He's going to get 4 SETI. He's going to use the what's it called? I wish I knew what it was called. Healing Spring. He's going to use Healing Spring to continue to heal his units up so he can run those around and raid a little bit. So a really nice wall there by Brickhead is forcing Mister to retreat back. Unfortunately, that wall isn't going to do anything because it dies pretty much instantly to villagers attacking it. He's just going to be able to retreat his villagers back home. And with Foresty being so quickly researched, it means that Mister's not going to have an opportunity to gather outside of his base for long at all, and basically he's going to be in a bit of a rough spot for this early stage of the game because he hasn't yet advanced to the classical age. He has got his temple up, but he hasn't chosen to do anything with it. I'm interested to see whether he picks Hermes or he picks Athena, because he's advanced so late, and he is going through Athena. He's advancing so late that it's going to be difficult to defend against anything, especially with the gold mine a little bit open for the early raids. But looks like he's going to be fine because Brickhead's going to take a little bit longer than he should to start attacking. He didn't have any hearses out or whatever like that. One longhouse is up. He's filling up houses as well, so he's going to get those longhouses out. He's going to start producing probably raiding cavalry and throwing axemen and things like that in order to deal with any sort of Athena play. I feel like sort of hoplite Toxito army for Mister would probably be the best, but perhaps you could also add in stables, maybe 1 stable, 1 barracks, and 2 archery ranges. and that's gonna really bulk up his army and cause Brickhead to sort of militarize differently. Might have to throw some offsacks in, which means his Toxotos are going to be able to do more damage. It's always about forcing people to do stuff they don't really want to do. If you can force a player to not play optimally, then that's always good. Do you see a military academy going up and an archery range? Nothing changing here. I'm surprised to see Mr. not throw up like 4 buildings right away, because he could definitely afford it because he's advanced so late, but he is only going to be building them one at a time. It's like he doesn't really care about the efficiency of getting those units out because it's fine. I think also another way to play this map apart from getting those Hippicon, instead of getting Hippicon, you can get Minotaur, because, well, they're really, really strong. Like, it's as simple as that. Brickhead also might want to think about getting Hall of Thanes this game, which is why he went 4 City. I think it's going to allow him to run his Hersa around as well as running his ratings around to dodge arrows from Mr.'s Toxotos. Excuse me. Yeah, he might be able to do something like that. So I don't think moving out just yet for Mr. is a good idea. He just needs to get that army into a position that he has a fair amount of units. And he's just going to start just turtle for a little bit until he has a lot of stuff. He's getting an ADCS out as well, just to deal with that troll being a nuisance at the forward wall of Brickheads. And Mr. just repairing his wall as well from that raider push from the right-hand side of the map. The bottom right-hand side of the map, that is. See, watchtowers have been also upgraded for Brickhead, so Brickhead knows that any aggression is able to happen at any time from Mr. He can just switch it on and move out because of the threat of restoration. And if he gets towers up, watchtowers up, then he can easily retreat back to them and feel safe, because not many people like fighting underneath towers. A nice trick you can do though, I should mention this now, but I don't know if his scout is still alive. You can actually use your scout to bait tower fire and move him back and forth and take no hits from watchtowers, which is always nice to not take damage. And Mister's now feeling a little bit more safe and secure to move out. Brickhead has to sit in his base at the moment, however, just to deal with, like, he can't really do anything at the moment. What he needs to do is wait till he has full population and then see if he can fight at a position which isn't next to his gold mine. So it's all about catching Mr.'s army out of position and then punishing him for it, forcing a restoration in a spot that he doesn't want to use it, and then fighting again later. You see Brickhead just sort of distracting, but it looks like this defensive position of Brickhead's is really, really strong, and fighting here isn't something that Mr. really would want to do, but it looks like he's moving in, picking up a couple of those throwing axemen with the Toxotos. He did actually manage to pick off 2 of those. So it's really, really, really good for Mr. He's managing to push in here. He's actually doing a lot of damage to that troll, which Brickhead didn't really react to very quickly. Mr's picking off those watchtowers slowly but surely. It's a little bit difficult to take them out. He's going to be using his Minotaur, however, just to tank some damage. It looks like Brickhead's raiding cavalry have returned back to his army. What I think an option for Brickhead right now would be is to be cutting off these reinforcements back here with his raiders, just picking off one of them and then retreating, and then picking off one of them and then retreating them. That's just that. I don't really understand what Brickhead can do apart from wait. Like, it's sort of unfair that the Greek army is so strong. But that being said, the Norse army is equally strong when they get to a specific point, and if Brickhead can get to that point, it's going to be really good. So, if you look at the population, Mister's in front, which is when you don't want to fight. When Greek has more units than you don't want to fight, but when you have more units than the Greek army, which is 115 versus 115 pop, then it's really, really good. Potentially what an option for Brickhead would be to get to the heroic age, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get there. And it looks like Scardy is getting research. There we go. Looks like Scardy's going for... He's going for Scardy, but Brickhead, Mister's like, no, I'm not going to allow that to happen. I'm going to come in, I'm going to start trying to kill off this location here. I've got Restoration. The only issue with this is that Mister doesn't have medium hoplite, so this fight could be extremely poorly... It could be really bad. Let's just like say that. He should definitely use Restoration now. He's losing way too many units. And there we go. There's the Restoration. He's got a fair amount of units onto this town center, but it looks like it might actually survive because there's so much stuff here just trying to keep it alive. But I don't think it will. He's got enough units just to pick it off, finally stopping the Frost Scardy to come out. The Frost of Scardy. Stopping Scardy getting research, stopping the Relic Age of Brickhead. Really nice trade there for Mister. But that being said, Restoration's been wasted. Not wasted, Restoration's been used. And Brickhead can use his Healing Spring in order to survive, and then he can rebuild his town center. Then he can go to the Relic Age. But that being said, where has Brickhead got to go now? He has to get that gold mine. That's the only gold mine which Mister doesn't know about. And basically, if Brickhead can get to that gold mine and be there without Mister knowing, I don't know if Mister scouted it. I assume he has because he had a scout early, but he may have lost that, so he might not have know about the side mines. But it's a possibility that either A, Mister just wants to stop this town center getting up, which it looks like he's going to try and do, and that town center is very close to getting up as well. Not quite enough, but he's in a position which is a little bit scary because, well, he's actually okay. He's able to focus down on those Toxotos with his he's able to focus down those throwing action with his Toxotos and then use his Hoplite to deal with the Radiant Cavalry. Bolt going down onto that dwarf, that troll. Why can't I think? God, Bolt going down to the troll, medium upgrades for the Raiders going down, and Mister's continuing to push in here, preventing this town center from getting up and forcing Brickhead's hand to fight in a population deficit. It's not great, and it looks like Brickhead forgot to bring an ox cart over to his gold mine, so he's gathering gold, but it's not any way, shape, or form like good. He's got to move them back and forth. And it looks like we're getting a little bit of lag, unfortunately, just because the game's jittering. There's not much we can do about that. It looks like Mister's lagging a little bit. Brickhead. A little bit of chit chat going on. Mister's been a little bit of a sneaky person. He had a cow on this gold mine over here, and he was using that to scout out the gold mine. So basically, you can leave a cow on a gold mine, and if it gets converted, then you know that there's villagers there or something's happening. We see the Mister's army's getting extremely strong now. He's got 2 Minotaur and he's got these heroes which can pick off the hammer trolls of Brickhead, and Brickhead just taps out. GG.